Fellas, I don't know why they keep letting me do it, but today I have bubbled yet another remote regional, this time top 9 instead of top 8. As usual, 3 of those in top 8 had the exact same record as me. My tiebreakers were just terrible because all of my opponents were bums and dropped early. Uh, I'm kidding. I love you, opponents. If you're hearing this, you're my best friends. That being said, there are some things to talk about with this list. This is just a pile of good cards. And the number one thing to talk about is that if I could top with just a pile of 47 inconsistent cards through decent gameplay and slamming Murakumo down on the board every couple of seconds, you can top with anything you wish. This is the format to do everything. This is the best format in ages, the most diversity in ages. Probably. I've only actually played like 2 regionals, and the first one I played was a 6 rounder with Riddick Stunt. Different story. Anyhow, getting straight into the deck list, we have Called by and Prosperity. Prosperity is a necessary consistency tool, especially when you have no idea the consistency of the deck you just built and you're just slamming random cards in a pile. Then it's probably good to put a Prosperity in there. Also, especially when you just have the extra deck space to spare. And Called by the Grave is Called by the Grave. Unfortunately, it still hits every hand trap in the game, which is super nice. And also really nice for this deck specifically because we're super vulnerable to like Ash and Bell. It's also broken going second because half the decks in the game put something in the graveyard. Yummy does, Draco Tail does, play Called by. Here's the Fiendsmith package. These cards are all terrible. It's Lacrima, Tract, Paradise, Double Engraver, Lurie. I played Double Engraver because I was playing Tract. I just wanted to see more of the engine and see what it could do for me. It did absolutely nothing. It made Caesar like twice, I guess. It added to an end board that my opponents already immediately conceded upon seeing, which was Caesar Murakumo set card or Caesar Futsu set card. Paradise, I activated a total of 1 time. I sent it a total of 1 time. The game states never really got me there, and I never really drew into these cards in a good time. I drew into Engraver a lot or Tract a lot, but the problem was when I drew into these cards, I either got anti-spelled or I got drooled. As a whole, I think this entire package fixes none of these decks' problems. I would either just play a smaller package if you want to see Caesar, or if you want to play around Cerulean, or just play Brightfield cards. I should have just played Brightfield cards. Now here comes the actual spice of the deck list. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it appear. I bet you didn't want to see it in Fiendsmith either, but there's your 2 Murakumo and your 3 Ritual and your Futsu. Futsu is the most broken card in the game, this format. It represents a threat that they immediately need to out, which means they're not killing you half the time. And in the process of outing it, you can get enough follow-up that if they misplay, you can usually kill them on the crackback. Murakumo is Murakumo. It is still a board wipe, and it's still a hand rip. That's still incredibly good. And of course, we're playing 3 Ritual because this means that you don't have to worry about cards like DD Crow. You don't have to worry about cards like Droll as much because you'll just open this plus Habakri, or you don't have to worry about Ash for the same reason. You'll just open this plus Habakri, and Habakri is your Ash bait. Uh, with 3 and 3, it did feel really good, especially with the other 3 Habakri. I almost never drew Ritual without something to summon with it, or at least Ritual and a way to get to 2 reptile bodies, or a way to get to a reptile. Super helpful overall. We've got 3 prayers, 3 Bakri. I hope I don't have to explain these. These are really good cards still. They've always been good cards, and they will continue to be good cards as so long as they are not banned. The nice thing about Habakiri is it does bait Ash and Ghost Bell, which are super, super strong in this format. And when you have 3 Mitsurugi Ritual, you can just kind of ignore their Ashes and Ghost Bells. Really nice. 3 pre-prep, 1 mirror. Especially in 47 cards. I don't know why I'm playing 47 cards. Don't ask me about it. This is really, really good. This especially is just Ash or Ghost Bell base. Sometimes you'll draw this as your only starter and feel a little bit bad, but it just like any other starter, once it gets Ash or Single interacted with, it usually dies. Sometimes you will draw a mirror and pre-prep, and that feels bad, but that's the way the story goes. If you open Habakri plus pre-prep, you can go for Murakumo, which means even under Droll, you'll still end on like Dynamon Pass. Or if you have normal summon, you'll end on Dynamon Pass, which is really nice. Uh, oh, we're just playing these 3 bodies today. No Night Sword. There really wasn't a reason to. When you're not playing the Ryzeal cards, there's no need for that second level 4 body to go into both Fiendsmith and Ryzeal cards. If I was, I'd play Night Sword again. But it did feel nice not having a break in my hand every game, except I always drew Saji anyways. I drew this like 10 games. That's ridiculous. It's 47 cards and I still see Saji. I drew Kusanagi like 3 times too. Kusanagi. Then I drew Aramasa like 3 times as well. These guys are ridiculous. They keep showing up in my hand. They love me. I don't love them. One Magentama, I still think this card's really good. Just the ability to ritual one more time on your turn is really helpful, and the fact that it doubles as a pop is really good. I misplayed against Sky Striker once because I went for the ritual because I thought it sent for cost. It does not send for cost. Learned that lesson early. I haven't actually used the ritual that much in situations where that specific interaction matters, which is why I didn't know it despite playing this card for multiple tournaments. It's literally never come up before now. Widowmaker MVP, I guess. Two Bell, I felt this card was really good into this format, particularly against Yummy. I just needed something better to stop the Yummy one card combo, or at least the non-Cupsy one card combo. Ogre is in here for a really similar reason in that it can sometimes be good against Yummy, but more primarily it's really good against Dracotail. It really just takes some names off the field. And it's really good against Vanquished for the same reason, taking names off the field. Ogre always feels fine in these kinds of formats, especially when you're playing as many hand traps as I chose to. Again, 47 cards. So you would always open this with another card, which meant it felt pretty good. I only saw it like once or twice, though, so don't quote me on that. Three Nib. Nib felt kinda okay the whole tournament. Against Yummy, this card felt broken. Against Dracotel, this card felt mid, and against every canine variant, this card felt just okay. Three effect beta, this card felt pretty insane. Just dropping it on cards felt pretty good. The problem I was running into near the end of the day or near the entire tournament is half the time my opponents would just pass the one hand trap. So the second or the third one, while it worked in theory, just didn't really come up for me that much. I I don't really know what to say other than that. Like there's not much to say. Like people were just bricking left and right, and one hand trap would stop their non-brick hands because people are kind of playing stacky deck lists right now and not using their hand traps properly. There's three imperm, same reason as Valor. It's a little bit better because it's a trap. Uh, there's three Fua. Fua is the primary floodgate of the format. I feel like this card's pretty good. Every time I dropped it, it felt pretty good. I drew a couple cards off of it. I threw some more hand traps at them. It's also a level 4, so that if you open Fiendsmith, you can still get into what do you call it? Mitsurugi combo. And then 3 Ash. This card felt just okay. Uh, didn't do Ashing Charmies that much. I Ashed Obedience Schooled a couple times, but it didn't really matter because they always opened anti-spell anyways. Uh, hmm, yeah. The theory behind this deck mostly was to take advantage of the fact that people wouldn't know how to use their hand traps properly against decks like Mitsurugi and Fiendsmith, and it kind of worked well in that regard. The Mitsurugi was much better at that part than the Fiendsmith was, but nonetheless, the theory did hold strong for most part, especially since buy base, even if you hand trap correctly, Mitsurugi is really resilient into most single target hand traps. Anyhow, the extra deck's like pretty standard. Here's all your Fiendsmith stuff, right? That's pretty much all you need for Fiendsmith stuff. Oh, there's a Necro equip, and there's a High Kick Caesar. I almost forgot about this. This is just your standard Fiendsmith lineup. There's almost nothing to say about it except Akande and Desiree is still really good, and Caesar is still like the best card on the planet. Dugaris was my rank 4 toolbox of choice. I think that's fair. King of Ferrolimps is also pretty good. Dugaris is really good here because you're playing so many hand traps, you're just going to draw into another one. IP into SP felt mandatory. IP is really, really good even with Dynamondo, and SP felt really good into Yummy. There's Dynamondo. He's my goat. He's really good into Droll, but I didn't get Droll, so I didn't make him. There's Typhon, then there's Garunix, and there's Zeus. The only spice here is Typhon's Typhon is a Fiendsmith control deck. What are you going to do? Garunix into Zeus felt pretty good. I never played it, but in testing it seemed good, right? Like you Garunix them, you pop their board, you pop a spell trap, you go battle, you make a second board wipe, and you go pass, and you go good luck. That wasn't as applicable as I imagined it'd be. I never got to 2 level 8s. People seem to be really afraid of that. And the scenarios where I got to 2 level 8s, I would just shoot for lethal anyways. Which, in hindsight makes a lot of sense, but I didn't need the slots anyways. Uh, in the side deck, there's my boys, Delta, Gamma, Driver, and for once I did see Delta and I did not see Driver. 47 card deck theory holds true. I never saw Gamma. Delta felt really, really, really strong this format. I'm not going to lie against Yummy. Every time you're either Delta the field fill if they start on a weak 1 card combo, or your Delta Obedience School, hope for the best. That seems really good, anyways. And against Dracotel, you're just kind of Delta everything. This card's broken against them. And against, what do you call it? Against Vanquish Soul Canine, you can usually hit like a field spell or a Stake Your Soul, which is all you really need to push through their board. There's two Perulia. This was a flex spot. I don't know, man. These never came up. I never played Vanquishal. There's Wosu. Wosu's here in case I face Lunalight. It's also just a good Caesar out. There's three Lancia. There's two Fenrir. Fenrir felt really, really good this weekend, especially against Yummy. I would have played three. I don't own three Fenrir. I own two Fenrir and a Unicorn. I don't know how that happened. There's talents. Should have main decked this. This card was really good every time I activated it. And there's purification. Overall, the conclusion of this deck profile is you can play the most inconsistent pile deck in history, and as long as you have hand traps and some skill behind you, you can probably make your way out just fine. Mitsurugi is still good. Play Mitsurugi, Raziel, though. That deck seems better. Bye.